going on, YouTube? First video in a long time. Some of you may recognize me from the past. I had a channel, buddy, 4 or 5 years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago. I was posting pretty regularly. I got to the point where I had enough subscribers that I wanted to do a giveaway and proceeded with, and then the person who won the giveaway never responded. So I had that pipe sitting on my shelf for about 3 years, waiting for him to get back to me, and he never did. So I eventually just gave it to my buddy, and now my buddy's actually a pretty avid pipe smoker because of that one. I believe it was a Savinelli KS, kind of like a Zulu shape, bent Dublin. Anyway, this is my actually my second take on this video. Almost done with this bowl. I lit it fresh on the first take. Dog was running around like crazy. Neighbors decided to be on cops or something. I don't know. There's something going on. But now that everything's kind of mellowed out, here I am again, hanging out in the old backyard. Sorry if you hear a clanking noise. It's actually my wallet chain hitting the bucket over here. But yeah, how you guys doing? A little bit of an intro. I'm going to assume this is just a fresh start. Nobody's seen my older videos. I got to the point in life where I was really distracted about things and freaking out. What am I going to do? Blah, blah, blah. Lots of stress. So one of the things I did in my panic is I removed all of my YouTube videos, which, to be fair, kind of helped because I was very focused on that, and I wanted to have a little bit of a community built up just so I could integrate with the YTPC a little bit. Not for any level of fame, of course, but kind of like, the way I can explain it is when I removed all my YouTube videos, I also deleted my Facebook and my Instagram. So that was kind of like my mindset. And now that I'm out of that panic, I kind of regret it, but I can't really argue with it. Did help. Even if it was a little bit, it helped me through a little bit of a rough patch. So it served its purpose. So, with all that being said, welcome to the channel. I haven't even officially decided on a name yet, but I think I'm going to be calling it Scoundrel something. Pipes, smoking, Scoundrel, hobbies, something. I don't know. It's just a name I've always liked, and that I use for other things. Today I'm smoking a 1966 Dunhill Poker. Before you think I'm a fancy lad, I got it today in the mail from eBay. Paid about $100 for this because A, it's tiny, if you can't tell. It's extremely small. It's about the size of a corn cob. The bowl is pretty heavily used, to say the least. The walls are getting pretty thin, and it's got a hairline crack on the shank, which there's no way I can show you right now, given the light. But I paid about $100 for it, and the way I smoke, I have a little category of pipes called my dog walkers, which if you ever want to see a video on them, let me know. They're all essentially small pipes, a couple corn cobs, like physically small, that I only use when I walk the dog or I'm outside. Okay, not sitting outside, but moving around, not sitting still. Those are my dog walkers. They're under $100. That's kind of like the limit I set myself. So if I break one or lose one or whatever, one gets rained on and waterlogged, whatever, I'm not too stressed about it. And they're small, so it's like a 20 to 30 minute bowl, and not too heavy. I'm like a 90% clencher usually. I'm usually like this, but it's hard for me to talk while doing that. I've never, after 12, 13, 14 years of pipe smoking, I still don't understand how people do that. I cannot talk with my mouth. If I do, I start getting chunks of tobacco coming out. So if you see me awkwardly holding this, like I don't know what to do with my hands, I don't normally do this. Usually like this. In the Dunhill Peterson Elizabethan mixture. It's really good. I was watching that Stuff and Things guy, what's his name? Bradley? And he always talks about it in such a restrained manner. He's always, I love this stuff. It's amazing. It's the best. As an everyday smoke. It's not going to blow your socks off. It's not something crazy. It's nothing, revolutionary. It's just for something that's just right down center plate, it's good, and I have to agree with him. It's very good. Since it is summertime, I kind of like a Virginia Forward blend, as I imagine most do. I know there's some people that prefer Latakia in the summer, which I don't understand. I mean, no judgment, but whew, I can't taste anything for a couple hours after having some nightcap. When I started out, I only smoked nightcap for probably 4 years straight. I tried like Orla Golden Sliced, Mixture 965. Back then it was Dunhill nightcap. And like Colt, the Blood Red Moon, and maybe one other aromatic. And nightcap was the only one that I really liked at the time. So I bought like 10 tins of it, and that's legitimately all I smoked for about 4 years straight. Not every day, granted, probably maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, but that's all I smoked. So I'm not, well, I'm not in the camp of nightcap is gonna, smash your face. It's so strong, but it's got that oily linger to it where it sticks around for a long time. So that's one thing I try to avoid in the summer. I don't know why. Maybe it's you got a t-shirt and shorts on, drinking an iced tea. You don't want something that tastes like, just smoked leather and bacon, which maybe you do. But I tend to lean a little bit more towards the lighter stuff in the summer. If I had to pick my favorite blend right now, it would be Cornell and Deals by Morning. I love that stuff. I love it. The moisture content's perfect. If you want to see me do a video on it, totally can. It's delicious. It really is. And it's actually the first Cornell and Deal that I ended up putting in a jar. If I put it in a jar, that means I expect to smoke it regularly. It's the first Cornell and Deal I ever put in a jar. And I've tried a lot of them. I don't have anything wrong with them. I'm not turning my nose up at them, but just never anything hit perfectly for me. This is the first one. Well, that's the first one, and it's great. Flock of geese just flew over. So yeah, just a little introduction, nice and casual. Getting a little bit chilly. It is summertime, and here in Southern California, we did just have a hurricane a couple hundred miles off the coast, which was interesting. If you ever want a show, just come to California when there's any level of bad weather. Nobody knows what the hell to do. It's hilarious. As somebody who's traveled the country pretty extensively on road trips and things like that, not to say like, oh, look at me, but has been out and about before. I'm pretty acclimated to most weather. Whether it's 120 and dry, or if it's, down in the teens and snowing, that's about my range. Anything, $125 to under 10 degrees, anything outside of that buffer zone, I'm unprepared, but everything in between, I tend to do okay. So many people were freaking the hell out. They are losing their minds. The second it rains out here, it's anarchy on the freeway. It's absolutely anarchy. Because it's dead stop traffic. Half the population goes 10 miles an hour slower than they normally do, and half the population goes 20 miles an hour faster than they normally go. So it's just like the gladiators are just bobbing and weaving through everybody, and everybody else who's scared to death is just going grandma slow. It's but we are moving soon. Northern Arizona, southern Utah. Me and the lady and a roommate, which is actually her cousin, see how that works out. But we've made a couple offers on some houses. Nothing yet, nothing stuck yet, but not at all discouraged. We're shooting a little bit high, shoot for the moon, but you're aiming at stars kind of thing. Just, shooting a little bit above what's realistic, and if we have to settle slightly lower than that, that's perfectly fine. So taking our time, and I'm enjoying learning too. It's real estate's an interesting world. Frustrating and a little bit dishonest, but interesting. Good life lesson for the future. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. It's getting a little bit dark, so I'm gonna have to call this here pretty soon. This little thing is just chugging. I was worried it was gonna get too hot, but it's really not. There's something to be said about old wood. You know, sometimes I get annoyed when people say that pipe smokes bad, because I understand it could be the dryness of the wood, the airflow, shape of the bowl, how, you know, your impression of the pipe, and then how you behave accordingly subconsciously, whatever. But I don't really think there's a bad smoking pipe, like generally in the world of decent quality made pipes. I don't think there's bad smokers, but there's definitely better smokers than others. I only have 2 pipes that I would say consistently, I don't want to say every time, but most of the time, outperform any other. And those are the ones that you cherish. Those are the ones that stand apart. I am towards the end of my bowl, so this is not staying lit. But I'll tighten it up here. If you want to see any kind of content, pipe collection, which I was thinking about doing, tobacco collection, maybe tobacco review, lighter stuff. I'm into lighters, pocket knives. I used to be huge into pocket knives. Animals. I actually breed scorpions. Well, bred scorpions accidentally, but now I'm hooked. Anything like that. If you want to meet my dog, I can do a video on my dog or with him in it or whatever. He's laying right next to me. Whatever you guys are feeling, let me know. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. It's nice to relax. As somebody with ADHD, pretty severe anxiety, and just an overactive mind in general, sometimes this is all it takes. And this Elizabethan just keeps delivering. It tastes even better on the relight, if I'm honest. Okay, I'll wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Scoundrel out.